Do you feel like if you say the right words, take the right action, or make the right move, you'll have your union with your twin flame? The truth is, that's just the illusion of control. The more you try to force things, the more resistance you're going to create. Real progress begins when you surrender. So why does letting go of control bring you closer to your twin flame? Well, let's have a look at what control looks like, because it's going to come from a place that's not peaceful. It's going to be anxious, it's going to be fearful, it's going to be lacking in trust in the divine plan. It's a belief that you got to do everything yourself, you have to do all the heavy lifting, that you actually have to do something to make union happen, and that's not how union happens. Union happens when you can relax into the flow of the divine orchestration that's happening, and then union can naturally flow through you because you're not resisting it anymore. Control is just resistance in disguise. It's going to do nothing to bring you your union. It's going to do everything to make it go further away. It'll also be characterized by constant overthinking, planning, and obsessing. No amount of thinking is going to get you into union. And if you start attaching stories to the not so good feelings that come up, you're going to have a bad time. There's no point in planning, because the divine plan is going to be infinitely superior to any human plan. There's a saying, God laughs while we make plans. And obsessing is not going to be an attractive energy. It's not going to be in the slightest bit magnetic, because it's like a chasing energy. It's going to push what you desire further and further from you. If you're always reaching out to your person to try and get some energy or attention from them, if you're always pinging them, or if you're energetically chasing them, believing that they have something of yours that you don't yet have, believing that they're the source of your good or the source of your happiness, and that you need something from them, they're going to mirror that by chasing someone else or just getting far away from you. Because in truth, you're not controlling anything, you're just making it worse if you try and control. It's impossible to control somebody else's choices or somebody else's journey. Having said that, twin flames do choose as one, but you don't control what their journey looks like. You can't control what your own journey looks like. You can't control how it unfolds, what comes up along the way, what kind of separation you've been experiencing. All you can do is the inner work to clear that. Trying to manipulate outcomes keeps you stuck, because you're not going near the problem. The problem is not outside of you. You might see problems on the outside, external obstacles, but they're all going to be outer manifestations of the inner block. And you clear the inner block by doing the inner work, and when it is clear, then the outer obstacle will melt away. That's how you remove the outer obstacle. You don't remove it by trying to physically do it. Control energy blocks union because it's an energy of fear, anxiety, and resistance. And it interferes with the natural order of your union, the natural orchestration. Because left to its own devices, nature will take its course and union will manifest according to the divine plan. If you try and make it manifest according to a plan that you think it should conform to, you're buggering up the divine plan. Or rather, you're not letting that come to fruition. So when it comes to this, you have to surrender. You have to hand it over to a higher power. Let God do God's job. Don't try and do God's job for him, because that isn't possible. It's not for humans to do. It's different to giving up. It's not numbing out. All you have to do is your part, which is to feel your feelings and love yourself. And know that you don't have to figure anything out. That's already taken care of. Knowing this and being able to relax into wherever you're at does open the door for the divine orchestration to unfold. There are several reasons why ego might be craving control. There might be a belief that by controlling, you'll be safe. But there's not much safety to be had in an illusion. If you're needing safety to move forward into your union, then you've got to give yourself the energy of safety with the mirror exercise. Deliver that to yourself, to your heart, as much as you need to. If there's a fear of loss there that's making you want to control, You got to remember that on the twin flame journey, there is no such thing as loss of love. And it's not to do with how many texts you're getting or how things look to other people or how things appear on the outside. It's about the divine truth that they're already with you, because you and your twin flame are one. You can't be separate from each other. They never have been separate from you. They can't leave you. They can't abandon you. You might experience these things, but they're illusions as well. But knowing this, you can begin to let go of any attachment that you have to the reflection, because it's only you that you're seeing reflected back to yourself, and you can't be separated from yourself. So there's no need to fear any kind of loss or separation on this journey. Surrendering shifts your vibration because it sheds all these lower energies that are keeping you down, that are holding you back, that are lowering your vibration so it doesn't match the frequency of union, and that's why you don't experience union. But surrendering will replace anxiety with peace, and peace is exactly the vibration that union's gonna manifest from. And it will enable you to be more open, and that's a very attractive and magnetic energy to your twin flame. So check in, see if you're still trying to control the connection now. If you're constantly checking your phone for the slightest little notification or the slightest little clue as to what they're doing, or checking signs constantly, or pushing timelines. If you're relaxed and surrendered, you don't need all of that. If things don't appear to be going your way, if you feel restless and distressed, then that's an opportunity to heal, and that would really move you forward rapidly if you do work through these feelings, but not if you get all wound up and just cease to function and curl up in a metaphorical ball. So if you feel like you could surrender a little bit more, or could do with surrendering more, there's practical steps that you can take. I mean, journaling, meditating, breath work, and above all, the mirror exercise are very useful tools to help you get into the space you're desiring to. And focusing on self-love will help release attachment, because you realize that you don't need to get your love from another person, or don't need to look outside of yourself for love, because you already have love. You just need to tap into it. And surrender honors the divine order, because it's not that timing is part of our higher plan, because time is also an illusion. But divine order is just that certain things need to be in place for your union to come in. So the more you're able to clear the blocks to love with the mirror exercise, the sooner you'll get to the point where there's nothing keeping union away, and union has to come in because that's its natural state. So patience does build a stronger union foundation, not in terms of waiting, but in terms of being proactive and taking the steps you need to take to move all these inner factors into place for union. Because when you're no longer trying to control and you're just in the flow, then that will encourage your twin flame to be in the flow as well, and alignment is going to occur naturally, and that will obviously remove all the push-pull cycles, all that runner-chaser stuff, become a long forgotten memory. And surrender will strengthen trust in the journey, because you need trust and faith in the divine plan in order to be able to surrender. And you'll know when you have, because it will feel peaceful. And the more you can trust, the more you can choose to increase your faith, the more that will help dissolve fear and desperation in turn. Surrendering can become a daily practice, and it should do. It will be a daily reminder to remain in the flow, and it will help take you deeper into a place of peace. And when you are in that place, that's guaranteed to bring you closer to union, because trying to control your journey just delays the inevitable harmony that comes naturally through surrender. When you let go, you can align with the divine flow, and that's the real path to union. Check out my previous videos on patience, alignment, and emotional mastery to support you on your journey, because you don't need control, you just need trust.